a psychologist was working in a mental hospital, and this particular patient um, had had been diagnosed with specific ailments of the mind, and he was in a place of safety, primarily, with no hope of what we would call a return to balanced mind. And he had good days and bad days. And one day, the psychologist paid a visit. And he had noticed that this patient had in front of him a jigsaw puzzle. And the jigsaw puzzle appeared to be taking his attention. So he left and said, well, there's no point in, risking some sort of reaction. He seems to be quite content. And it was a rather large jigsaw puzzle, 2,000 pieces. And no one had ever taken the time to complete it. Over a period of weeks and months, the psychologist kept coming back and he was still attending this jigsaw puzzle. And he would say, inquire to the nurses, how's he been? Oh, he's fine, yeah, he's great. He just gets up in the morning and works away at this jigsaw puzzle. It's very difficult, you see, it's a very difficult puzzle, it's very complex and, not easy even for the most intelligent mind to do very quickly. And then one day he came and the jigsaw puzzle was finished. And the patient had pushed the puzzle to the back of the table where he was working on, and he was sitting and looking at it. And the psychologist came and said, how are you? Well, I'm good. I'm just sitting. And the psychologist said, well, can I ask, what is it that you're thinking? And the patient said, well, I'm not thinking. I'm just sitting. And the psychologist says, well, you came in here with so many thoughts, extremely ill, extremely imbalanced mind, so many obscure ways of, addressing your thoughts. And you appear to be saying you're not thinking. No, I'm not thinking. I'm just sitting. And the psychologist, okay, yeah, I will leave you. Yeah, thank you. And he goes and he speaks to the nurse and says, what's going on? Oh, he finished the puzzle about a week ago. He just gets up in the morning and looks at it. And he just sits there most of the day just smiling, and he acknowledges people when they come into the room, and he eats his food and he takes his medication, and he just seems to be very content with life. And the psychologist says, well, okay, yeah, but we must keep an eye on him, you see. Maybe we should give him another puzzle if he gets upset, because that seemed to take his mind off things. And also say, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll monitor the situation. So again, a couple of weeks pass, the psychologist comes in and he's still there, and he said to the patient, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, thank you very much, yeah. Would you like another puzzle? And the patient says, puzzle? jigsaw puzzle. You know. That, no, thank you, no. That one's complete, you know. He says, okay. So he goes away and comes back another couple of weeks, thinking about discharging this man because there's no reason for him to stay. He's going out on walks. He's appearing as if he's happy, content. He's no risk to himself, no risk to others, and he seems to be one of the most happiest people in the hospital, including the staff. And he goes in to discharge him, and he says to the man, I have some news for you. And the patient says, oh, good. He says, but before, I want to say thank you for all you've done for me. And the psychologist says, oh, that's okay, you know, that's what we're here for. But the news is, you're going to get discharged. You're going to go home. We've arranged for specific things to be put in place so that it makes life easy for you, and you can attend and come as an outpatient, and we will be here for you at any time. And there are people who will maybe come in and look after you and for certain things that you may not be able to, you know, to achieve right now. Oh yeah, thank you very much. I accept everything, you know. I'm so lucky. I'm very fortunate. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And psychologist puts his hand out to shake the man's hand, and the patient says, but you have to remember this. I won't break it up. And the psychologist looks at the man and sees the puzzle, and he says, no, that's okay, you know. We can leave it there, you know. He said, well, what do you mean? He says, oh, the puzzle. And the patient says, no. I'm not going to break it up ever again. I don't want to see it breaking up. And the psychologist says, yeah, but we can glue it together and you can take it home and you can put it on your wall as, you know, as some sort of, you know, memory, a trophy. And the patient says, I don't know what you're talking about. And the psychologist says, you're talking about the puzzle. And the patient says, no, I'm not worried about that. That's only a puzzle. I'm not breaking up my mind. I put it all back together again. And I'm not breaking it up. My mind is like that puzzle now. It's whole. The mistake I made through life is I broke it up. You know, I let people tell me things that were not genuine to me. I believed in things that were not true. I see reality now. Reality is just being alive, being whole. I'm not breaking up my mind again. My mind is complete. It's pure. I don't want another samsara life. And the psychologist says, I didn't know you were spiritual. He says, no, I don't know what spirituality is. It's another component, you see. It's the same as religion, another component. It's the same as my body, another component. It's the same as the nature, broken up into different components, like the jigsaw puzzle, the landscape broken up into names, into identities, into all these broken up ways that we as human beings think is intelligent and wise and great. No, I'm not breaking my mind up for no one. I'm going to remain pure as I am. I'm going to remain whole. I won't get caught in the trap of ego again. He stands up and he hugs the psychologist and he says, you can do with what you want with the puzzle. It's okay, you know. Someone else can do it, you know. And he went away, and the nurse came in and said to the psychologist, you know what? I've worked here for 35 years. In that 35 years, so many puzzles have been made, small puzzles, wooden puzzles, weird puzzles, everything, but never has anyone achieved that puzzle, not even the staff. It is the most complex, the most difficult, the most hardest puzzle to achieve, and everyone gives up. But that patient didn't give up. And the psychologist says, yeah, it's about giving up, is it? It's about facing up to your complex needs. It's about addressing your own issues. It's about taking the time to put some meaning on life. And the meaning of life is whole. And the psychologist walked away and went home to his wife that night and said, I learned something today, you know. And she said, you learned something? Where did you learn it from? A lecture? He said, no, from one of the patients. You learned something from the patient? Yes. And his wife says, what did you learn? He says, very simple. Never give up. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on trying to make things, I don't want to use the word good, he says, to make things whole. And we can work our way through this puzzling life. And at some point, we have to put it together. But firstly, we have to break it all up, like that patient. His mind was completely broken, completely no hope. And he did it all by himself, every day for months, in the same position, trying to fit a piece, failing, another piece, another piece, another piece, day after day, putting his puzzle together. It appeared that the patient became a very wise man, where he did voluntary teaching to young children. And the teaching was not highly intelligent. He didn't want to intervene between our human process. He just used to hold a jigsaw puzzle class where the children could choose and pick each puzzle, and they would play music and have fun. And he would watch the children, some finishing puzzles, some not finishing puzzles, some changing places, doing other ones' puzzles. Some starting with the edges, some starting with the colors, some starting with the shapes. He says, what a diverse life we live. What a completely wholesome life we live. He became the happiest man, interacting with the most complex procedure or process. We all walk away from jigsaw puzzles saying, oh, they're simple. Let's build a spaceship to Mars. Let's find a vaccine to control some sort of natural evolution of a virus. But let's not look at ourselves. Let's not look at the puzzle within us, each one of us. Let's not look for conscious, whole being life. Let's run away into the web of Maya, where the spider is there, ready to eat us up. Let's go beyond the web. Let's go beyond the spider. Let's go beyond all the names, all the pieces. Let's bind them all together into a ball. The earth, a puzzle in itself. But the way we perceive it, the way we understand it, the way we look at it, the way we mess with it, breaks this puzzle of earth up as our mind and our world and our experience. And we spend our whole life puzzling it out, when really the puzzle is within. As I